Trent kind of back with you. Prep preview live from Valley Stadium as we get ready for the kickoffs here tonight. I'll be over at Des Moines Roosevelt, a big one over there. We will have Roosevelt Southeast Polk. You can catch that game. The replay coming up this evening, 10:30 on 1460 KXNO radio. Wise will have the coverage of that one. That one's certainly going to determine playoff positioning. Both teams look to be in good shape, but while we have a moment, let's take a look at the RPI standings and take a look here in Class 4A, the way things play out. As we've talked about before, the RPI is a measure of the schedule that you played. This is a metric that measures the schedule that you put together this year, how many wins you got against it, and then how your opponents played throughout the season. Part number one is what your record is. That's the easiest component, what your record is. Part two, your opponent's record, and part three, your opponent's record, and that's how it's broken down. It's a very simple mathematical system, simple overall, but there are certainly quirks that go into it. So at the top spot this week, once again, is West Des Moines Valley. As we mentioned, Valley big favorites tonight against Des Moines North. They should be able to comfortably win this football game tonight, and with it solidify the number one seed and home field advantage in the first two rounds of the playoffs that'll come along with it. The number two seed is Cedar Falls. The Tigers last year took Dowling Catholic to the break, and Cedar Falls at number two in the rankings, also undefeated, the only other undefeated team left in Class 4A. Your third and fourth ranked teams from Central Iowa, Ankeny Centennial in the number 3 spot, and Dowling Catholic at number 4. So as we dig a little bit deeper, though, into these numbers, what you're going to find is teams playing for that playoff positioning, yes, but also playing to stay in the playoffs. And as we go down towards the bottom of the list, numbers 14, 15, 16, those right now would be the final three teams in. Number 14, that's Sioux City East. They're in that matchup tonight up in Ankeny. Sioux City East wins that football game, they will be a playoff team. With the loss, well, that's when the math is going to come into play. That's when we're going to have to get out the calculators and the pens and figure out what the numbers are going to say. And that 15th slot is Fort Dodge. The Dodgers tonight, they'll be taking on, have a good matchup themselves as Fort Dodge, again, for them. Very simple. A win and they're in. They take a loss, though, to Marshalltown, more than likely on the outside looking in. Continuing on those rankings in Class 4A and the RPI down at the number 16 slot, and that is where we have Urbandale. Urbandale tonight, they get Ames, a little Cyclones team that has played pretty good football here during district play. They get a win, Urbandale does. They're in position to be in the playoffs with the loss. But the teams that are rooting for something, they need some help to get in, starts at number 17 with Johnston. Not only does Johnston have an opportunity tonight to beat Waukee, that'll be a home game for the Dragons. If they do that, that will create a three-way tie for the district championship between them, Waukee, and Indianola would then all have one loss. There would be no tiebreaker that would work in terms of win-loss because all three teams beat each other. So you go around, and then it'll come down to the math. It'll come down to RPI. That is the determining factor. With it, Waukee, even with the loss tonight, should be in pretty good shape to still take that district crown, but Johnston certainly could do that. Indianola needs to get a win themselves to create that three-way tie. If Johnston does get the win, though, they do have a very good chance of getting into the playoffs. A little bit deeper, we mentioned Marshalltown tonight against Fort Dodge. Basically, it can be a playoff game for them. They win that game and get a little bit of help. They're going to be in the playoffs, and they'll jump up front of Fort Dodge and get one of those final spots there. Indianola at 19, we talked about them a little bit, and that's really it. That's pretty much the cutoff as it looks here, unless we get a crazy night of football. Tons of upsets happen in Class 4A. 19 appears to be about as far down as you can go to find the teams. So we feel very solid. What's going to happen then after all the games are finished up here tonight is the boys in Boone are going to get together. They're going to put these brackets together, and it's not a true bracket. It's not 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, not exactly how it is. Geography does play a small component on the way they're going to put this together. So you're going to look at it not as a true 16-team bracket, but as basically 4 pods, 4 different quadrants the teams are going to go on. If things stay the same that we see tonight, Valley will have their own quadrant, Cedar Falls will have their own group, Centennial will have their group, and Dowling Catholic. Those 4 teams then, with the win in the first round, will host the first 2 rounds. Teams will have to come to them, solidifying those top 4 slots. That's the way it's set up here as we get ready for week number 9. We'll come back, take a look at some of the other big games around the area that we've mentioned. Also want to keep an eye on in Class 3A up to the northwest, DCG playing for a district title. We'll take a look at that and some of the other matchups here this evening as we come back. It's It's Prep Preview on CISN.
Schottenkirk's Ford Truck Month going on now in Indianola. This month only, new 2019 Ford F-150 Crew Cabs up to $14,000 off MSRP or up to $8,500 off MSRP and 0% for 72 months. All new F-150 trucks come with no charge Ford roll-up tonneau cover. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives.
With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
It's week 9, and it's win and you're in, lose and you better hope some math works in your favor. Sioux City East comes in 6-2, 3-1 in the district. Ankeny comes in 5-3, 3-1 in the district. Tim Halber, Paul Yeager along with you here. We'll have the call tonight from Ankeny Stadium, the regular season finale for both of these teams. Sioux City East, a lot of two-way players, a lot of things have got to go right for them tonight.
Yeah, that's where this war of attrition comes down, where Ankeny can come out and have starters on both sides of the ball, where Ankeny, the coach had mentioned that, guys getting tired. You see the running back position, too. They rotated about, there's 6 different guys run the ball, so they're going to have to kind of play heads up and kind of not get tired.
This is a game that features a team who has only given up 7 points in the last 3 games, but the combined record of that is we just don't really need to talk about. Ankeny has been on a roll recently. They have scored a lot of points. They went to Sioux City last week and scored. They only had 20 offensive plays. They haven't had a lot of game reps. Tonight's a little different.
They should be rested, right, after last weekend. No, they've been on a roll lately. It's the easier part of their schedule, that juggernaut they had at the beginning of the season. So they're kind of reaching the playoffs here on a high note. They're playing, they're efficient, they're getting the offense, they're scoring touchdowns, not field goals. So see if they can keep it up tonight.
Sioux City East brings in a different quarterback than what they started the season. They're going to go with a guy that's been a running back, but he is a guy that's going to run the football first, and we might actually see Jace Bauer run the ball a little bit more tonight. That's something that's not been a wrinkle. These two teams trying to get that key started, it comes down, the way it sounds to me from the coaches, and Tim, you can disagree, is running.
Yes, definitely Sioux City East is a running team, running quarterback. Their quarterback is their leading rusher. They are not a run-pass option. I mean, they're a straight option team. They go out, they're going to want to run the ball, use different running backs out there. So it'll be up to the Ankeny defense. Can they handle a running quarterback? Can they contain them? Look at the stats. They have 26 sacks on the season as a defense, so I think they know how to handle it. They got the speed because the linebackers for Ankeny are very active. So it's going to be a war of like who's going to win out, the quarterback or that tough defense.
The leaves are on the trees, but the temperature, there's a little fewer of those in the thermometer, but it's going to be a great night for football. The wind is down. It is gorgeous. We'll have the kickoff around 7 o'clock here on CISN.TV. From Ankeny Stadium, for Tim Halber, I'm Paul Yeager. Let's go back to you, Trent.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives.
With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need a new Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert. They're the perfect thing to make that old wood fireplace more beautiful, warmer, and easier to use. And right now, Heat and Glow is giving a $200 rebate, making it even easier for you to upgrade that old fireplace. Please come see them today, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Trent Connon with you one final time here at Valley Stadium. The Valley Tigers tonight against Des Moines North in the regular season finale. Our other game streaming tonight on CISN should be a good one up in Ankeny tonight as the Hawks take on Sioux City East. Hawks looking to solidify their position in the playoffs, and with it, still a possibility for them to get a home playoff game in the first round. We'll take a look at that matchup coming up here in just a little bit. Let's take a look across the 4A landscape. Some of the other games going on here. It'll be the finale for many of these teams as they will not hear their name called tonight, and the selection into the brackets for the 6 classes of high school football. Starting in Class 4A District Number 1, Hoover goes on the road over to Lincoln to take on the Rail Splitters. Good city rivalry there. Certainly two teams that shown some promise at times this year. Both teams would love to go out with a win this evening. Dowling Catholic, they're on the road. They make the long trip up to Sioux City to take on North. The Stars struggle this year. Dowling Catholic should be able to wrap up a victory tonight, and with it, wrap up one of those top 4 positions and a chance to host in the first 2 rounds. We've seen Williams Stadium's been the host for Dowling Catholic over the last few seasons. That's been kind of their home slot, and anticipated that'll be the case again this year for the Maroons. Also in District Number 1, Ankeny, Sioux City East. That's the big one here tonight. Playoff implications for both sides. Sioux City East trying to win and keep themselves in. Hawks trying to bump them out, and with it, give themselves a chance, as we mentioned, to play in the first round at home. Fort Dodge and Marshalltown, that one has playoff implications. Not a true play-in game, but as close to it as you're going to find this year in the Class 4A field. Should be a real good one up in Fort Dodge tonight. As mentioned earlier, Southeast Polk at Des Moines Roosevelt. Both teams very good position to be playoff teams, but whoever wins this one is going to be hosting a home playoff game in the first round. A lot of importance there to get that home game. And that Des Moines Roosevelt story, what a great story that it's been. Tonight we'll have the replay of the game on 1460 KXNO. You can check that out after we wrap up our high school football coverage in our scoreboard show. That's from District 2. Let's go over to District 6. Des Moines East, they're on the road at Indianola. Indians need a victory and some help to get in the playoffs. Got to start, though, and get it done themselves with a win. Ottumwa's at Mason City in District 6, and then Waukee at Johnston. Waukee with the win clinches the district championship. With a loss, it would create a possibility of a 3-way tie. Now, if Indianola loses, that creates a whole different circumstance. Johnston then would be your district champion. They'd have the head-to-head against Waukee, and Indianola win, and a Johnston win coupled together creates a 3-way tie. And then we get into the RPI. That will be the tiebreaker in that one. And finally, District 7, we talked about Urbandale. They need a win tonight at home against Ames to put themselves into the playoffs. Council Bluffs TJ against Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln over on the west side of the state. And then the game here, it is Des Moines North against West Des Moines Valley. That'll be our finale of the regular season here from Valley Stadium. Next week, playoff game will be here, though, for the Tigers, no doubt, as they'll get ready to try to make a run at the state championship. And the playoffs, always intriguing. The way it's going to be set up, going to be very good. Mentioned in Class 3A, Dallas Center Grimes. They're looking to clinch tonight against Carroll. Keep an eye on that one as the Tigers, good squad, will be making their way down to DCG. Mustangs could be back into the playoffs again. And that good football program, Des Moines Christian in Class 2A, they played well this year. They're going to be a playoff team. So a lot of area teams here, not just in Class 4A, fighting to get into the playoffs and get into their brackets going forward. Should be a great one here tonight. Hope everybody enjoys their games out there. Have a fun one. Going to be a lot of great football. Going to be chilly out there if you're sitting at home. The great thing is you don't have to leave the house. All you have to do, flip on YouTube, CISN.TV. You can find both the streaming links that we have for both of our games here tonight. Valley Stadium, it'll be the Tigers against the Polar Bears from Des Moines North. And in the other matchup, it'll be Ankeny against Sioux City East. Looking forward to that one. Signing off for another week here of Prep Preview.